It's showtime, my friend. How nice, come on in. It's so good to see you again. Got stories to share, I'm virtually there. It's showtime, my friend. It's showtime, my friend, with a tear or a grin. We're chomping the bit to begin. Wear sweatpants or slacks, let's break out the snacks. It's showtime, my friend. If you have to go, I want you to know it's easy to log right back in. Connection too slow, hope you don't miss the show, 'cause it's showtime, my friend. Let's go! It's time to prepare for our online affair. I do hope you'll stay till the end. I tuned up my axe, sit back and relax. No matter how your day has been, we'll make you smile, make it all worth your while. It's showtime, it's starting in no time. It's showtime, my friend. All right, we have a group of you here right now. Joan and Bob is probably nearby, and Kim and Mark. Mark is probably nearby, I'm pretty sure. And there's Jonathan Stars tuned in. No, that was me. And Bud, Brent, and Jeannie. All right, just got in from Grand Haven. Ooh, it wasn't over here. We didn't have a lot of sun. It was kind of clouded over, but it kept it cooler, even though it was a hotter day, because you don't have that. Tell us whether it was all sunny over there in Grand Haven. I just kind of like that. I mowed the lawn today, so it was nice to be able to have just a little bit cooler without the sun beating down there. All right, let's see. We have, so this is going to be the fun show. Just, fun stuff. Just because I thought it was time for something like that. So this one is called Sunny Side O' the Street. That's apostrophe, apostrophe of Sunny Side of the Street. And let's do it. Oh, yeah. Grab your coat and get your hat. Leave your worries on the doorstep. Just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. Don't you hear that pitter-pat and the happy tune in your step? Life can be so sweet on the sunny side of the street. I used to walk in the shade with my blues on parade. Now I'm not afraid of this rover crossed over. If I never had a cent, I'd be rich as Rockefeller. Gold dust at my feet on the sunny side of the street. I used to walk in the shade with my blues on parade. Now I'm not afraid of this rover crossed over. If I never had a cent, I'd be rich as Rockefeller. Gold dust at my feet on the sunny side of the street. Grab your coat and get your hat. Leave your worries on the doorstep. Just direct your feet to the the sunny side of the street. Don't you hear that pitter-pat and the happy tune in your step? Life can be so sweet on the sunny side of the street. I used to walk in the shade with my blues on parade. Now I'm not afraid. This rover crossed over. If I never had a cent, I'd be rich as Rockefeller. Gold dust at my feet, a gold dust at my feet. I'd go with silver if I had one at my feet. On the sunny side, the sunny side, the sunny side of the street. That's right. Oh, and let's see what it was, sunny and breezy. Oh, that's nice. Great. Yeah, often you get over there, it's cooler by the water. And then it's funny, they usually near the water, then there comes up a rise, and it could be a mile or 2 or 3 miles in, and then the land comes up like this, and it sort of blocks some of that. You get back inland, and some of the clouds are different. Well, we get extra rain sometimes because of that. Well, enough of that. We're talking about the sunny side, and that's where you guys were, on the sunny side of the state. Well, I don't know if I was influenced by this song or by Sunny Side of the Street, but I wrote one called Through with the Blues. I just kind of like the way the words fell together. And it's and then I sent it off to Tom Hagen, who did a really nice arrangement for me. I kind of knew what I wanted. I told him, I said, it's got to be Dixieland, and here we go. Top of the news, I'm through with the blues. I'm gonna paint myself a whole rainbow view. It's the same cloudy day, just seen a new way. If the sunshine follows rain, then a smile will follow pain. Oh, the doubts in my head, I put them to bed. I got a brand new train of thought on the track. I swept out all the gloom. From now on I'll sing a happy tune. I got news starting today, I'm through with the blues. Take it, boys, play that Dixieland. All the doubts in my head, I put them to bed. I got a brand new train of thought on the track. I slept out all the gloom. From now on I'll sing this happy tune. I got news starting today, I'm through with the blues. One more time, top of the news, through with the blues. I'm gonna paint myself a whole rainbow view. The same cloudy day, just seen a new way. If the sunshine follows rain, then a smile will follow pain. Oh, the doubts in my head, I put them to bed. I got a brand new train of thought on the track. I swept out all the gloom. From now on I'll sing a happy tune. I got news starting today, I'm through with the blues. I got news starting today, I'm through with the blues. I got news starting right now, I'm through with the blues. There's that drum part at the very end. That boom. Oh, Joe is here. Finally got back from Higgins Lake. Oh, that's nice. Higgins Lake, you were there, Joe. All right. And yeah, I thought you were okay. And then Jack and Barb, there you guys are. All right. I was wondering, I started singing the song. Why did you guys come across my mind? Oh, I think I looked and saw that you were there, and I went, oh, I was thinking of them. By the way, well, let's see. We'll see who else shows up before I go into that. So let's do just some silly stuff here. This is what I call accidental comedy from church bulletins. I've done this every so often. It's been some months here. And this is what I said is Mom used to type the church bulletin. And, you would think with some kind of duty like that, you would sort of have a little hand from above, or shall we say the typing correction would help you, but it would be a special kind of typing correction. Well, it turns out not necessarily. For these things that I'm going to read now were in church bulletins. So here we go. Don't let worry kill you. Let the church help. Okay, how about this one? The Scouts are saving aluminum cans, bottles, and other items to be recycled. Proceeds will be used to cripple children. Don't think that's quite what they had in mind. Thursday night, potluck supper, prayer, and medication to follow. I know Janice is always warning me, but I said, Janice, the people who bring their food to those church dinners, it's the best, it's their favorite dish. It's a dish that they really excel on, and they're not going to mess that up. You got to watch it if they're at a picnic and they leave some stuff out in the sun for hours. That's a different problem. But those church dinners, I never got food poisoning from any of them. So there you go. Then, okay, the Low Self-Esteem Support Group will meet Thursday at 7 p.m. Please use the back door. That ought to encourage them, huh? The rosebud on the altar this morning is to announce the birth of David Allen Johnson, the son of Reverend and Mrs. Tom Johnson. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, well, I notice on the keyboard the I is right next to the O, so I understand. This afternoon there will be a meeting in the south and north ends of the church. Children will be baptized on both sides. I did that wrong. I'm not going to fix it now. Let's just move on. All right. There will be a meeting of the Little Mothers Club Thursday at 5 p.m. All young ladies wishing to become little mothers, please see the minister in his study. That used to be funnier than it is these days. A bean supper will be held on Thursday evening in the church hall. Music will follow. That's a good elementary style joke. And finally, at the evening service tonight, the sermon topic will be, What is Hell? Come early and listen to our choir practice. Well, goodness, that's not saying a lot. Oh, Kathy and Bill are here. Okay, Bill and Kathy have come aboard. Yes, okay, that's what I wanted to say. Now, Bill mentioned, I saw Bill a week ago. He was visiting my mom when I was there. And he mentioned that he noticed that I was wearing a jacket often, almost all the time when I do these shows. Well, I'm in the lowest room of the house. In fact, this room comes down from the rest of the house. And you know that hot air rises and cold air sinks. Well, during the summer especially, we have, it's hot, so we have the air conditioner going. Well, that cold air, it's just like you can imagine water rolling downhill, but, you can't see it. If it filled it with smoke, it would come down. I don't want it to be filled with smoke, though. But it rolls down here and sort of settles in this room. And so this room is like cold, gets cold. But Mark Wright started asking me about the shirts that I wear. And so I wanted to show this one, which was kind of cool. I'll back up here because it's got music notes on it and stuff like that. I'm going to stand up a little bit more. There you go. Now, it's all on the one side. And I do like to, I like to keep changing these shirts. I have a batch of them, a lot of different ones. They're kind of, they call them Hawaiian shirts, although this one looks more like a bowling shirt, I think. I think some of them are very similar. But whenever you have stripes like this and certain other patched ways of doing things, it's kind of a bowling shirt, but I think it's cool. Okay, there you go. All right. So now you know the reason, Bill. And Mark, you're the one who kind of got me started on talking about that. So, all right, so let's see where we are here now. The next thing I'd like to do for you is an Elvis Presley song. And I usually invite the audience to applaud and whistle and stomp their feet. It's a little hard to ask you guys to do that, So, all right, let's nevertheless, let's do this here. Let me see. We got a collar up here. I get my lip going. Who knows? Elvis might have looked like this by now. All right, here it is. Blue suede shoes. Oh, hey, it bumped the screen, bumped instead of playing. Here we go. Now do it now, guys. Here we go. Well, it's a 1 for the money, a 2 for the show, a 3 to get ready. Now go, cats, go, and don't you step on my blue suede shoe. Well, you can do anything, lay off of my blue suede shoe. Well, you can knock me down, step on my face, I sling my name all over the place. I do anything that you want to do. Lay off my shoes and don't step on my blue suede shoe. Well, you can do anything, lay off of my blue suede shoe. Well, you can knock me down, step on my face, I slant my name all over the place. I do anything that you want to do. Lay off my shoes and don't step on my blue suede shoe. Well, you can do anything, lay off of my blue suede shoe. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, you can burn my house, steal my car, drink my liquor from an old fruit jar, do anything that you want to do. Lay off my shoes and don't step on my blue suede shoe. Well, you can do anything, lay off of my blue suede shoe. Blue suede shoes, I got my blue suede shoe, hey, do anything off of my blue suede shoe. Hey, one more time, I got my blue suede shoe, hey, blue suede shoe, blue suede shoe. I got my blue suede shoe, hey, you can do anything off of my blue suede shoe. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, thank you. I don't know. Elvis he had just the right face, didn't he? I mean, wow. All right. And, I was just thinking about you, Kathy and Bill Amundsen's there, that you guys play in the bell choir. Do you know the names of your bells? Usually the people in the bell choir have 2 bells. Sometimes they actually have 3 if there's one that doesn't get played often and they have to switch a bell. The reason I ask that is that when I played in a bell choir, I just knew the bell that I had and I knew the note on the screen, but I never paid attention to the actual names of the notes. It's kind of funny about that. Well, I could always ring it in the right time because I knew where it was on the chart, but I didn't pay any attention to what note it was. Just wondering. Okay. Let's see here. Let's do a silly song I want to do for you here. And I've done this one before. It's kind of a fun little song called The Chicken Song. I had some chickens, no eggs would they lay. I had some chicken, no eggs would they lay. One day that rooster got into the yard and caught those chickens right off of their guard. They're laying eggs now, just like they used to. Ever since that rooster got into the yard, they're laying eggs now, just like they used to. Ever since that rooster got into the yard. I had a fruit tree, no fruit would it give. I had a fruit tree, no fruit would it give. One day that rooster got into the yard and caught that fruit tree right off of its guard. It's giving eggplant now just like it used to. Ever since that rooster got into the yard, it's giving eggplant now just like it used to. Ever since that rooster got into the yard. I had a moo cow, no milk would she give. I had a moo cow, no milk would she give. One day that rooster got into the yard and caught that moo cow right off of her guard. She's giving now just like she used to. Ever since that rooster got into the yard, she's giving now just like she used to. Ever since that rooster got into the yard. I had a gum tree, no gum would it give. I had a gum tree, no gum would it give. One day that rooster got into the yard and caught that gum tree right off of its guard. It's giving chicklets now just like it used to. Ever since that rooster got into the yard, it's giving chicklets now just like it used to. Ever since that rooster got into the yard. There was a monastery, no monks would it give. There was a monastery, no monks would it give. One day that rooster got into the yard and caught that monastery right off of its guard. It's giving friars now just like it used to. Ever since that rooster got into the yard, it's giving friars now just like it used to. Ever since that rooster got into the yard. I had a marijuana plant, no leaves would it grow. I had a marijuana plant, no leaves would it grow. One day that rooster got into the yard and caught that marijuana plant right off of its guard. Doesn't rhyme, but it works. We've got chicken pot pie now, just like we used to. Ever since that rooster got into the yard, we got chicken pot pie now. Ever since that rooster got into the yard. Chicken pot pie, that was what I was supposed to sing. I don't know, my tongue got caught on my eye tooth and I couldn't see straight. Okay, yeah, you said you do know the notes. Okay, some people play 4, 6, or 8 bells. Some really as many as 8. Ooh. Another thing, if you've never seen a bell choir bell, for you other folks, the clapper in it sits this rather than just kind of a round, just like a, what do we call, a tube like thing, or anyway. It's flat on one side. It's like leather. You hold leather here, but I think the clapper is also leather. And then at the end of it, it does have a thing that hits the metal. I can't remember whether that's metal or not. But anyway, it rings this way. So if you have a second bell and you don't have to, it's not going to ring, you hold it in your hand sideways so that you ring the one bell while you're doing this, and then you turn your hand and go like that to hit the other note. But you got to be pretty skilled and be paying attention to what you're doing there, or you could ring the wrong bell at the wrong time and make it not sound so hot. But as many as 8, oh my gosh, oh, that's pretty interesting. I guess they get their feet involved, perhaps. Is that's all right? Maybe not that. And Susan Curtis, hi Susan. I saw you come in there, and I started thinking about this one. Oh, Susie Q. But I did it so recently, I didn't want to. We'll see how time works out. Maybe I'll do it anyway, because I just love playing the song anyway. It's great. Very clever song. Okay, so, I wanted to come back. I read Rodney Dangerfield's autobiography. Kind of a narrow book, not real thick. And it kind of jumps around a lot in his career, but it's entertaining because it's him. And so I just finished reading the book, and I thought I'd do some of Rodney Dangerfield's jokes. I'm going to do his voice a little bit, but it's not quite him. There's no question around it. So he goes, "It's been a rough day. I got up this morning, put on a shirt, and a button fell off. I picked up my briefcase, and the handle came off. I'm afraid to go to the bathroom." All right. "I was such an ugly kid. When I played in the sandbox, the cat kept trying to cover me up. I could tell my parents hated me. My bath toys were a toaster and a radio." Good joke. He said whenever he'd go to be on Johnny Carson's show, he knew he was coming up, he would write 100 jokes. 100. Could you imagine writing 100 jokes? I occasionally would come up with something interesting or funny, but that's a lot of jokes. 100. And he said, and only 50 of them were any good, so I'd have to throw out 50 of them. And he said you had to have a really solid 20. He said you could do the other ones as in-between ones, but you knew which ones were the good ones, so that you had one that kind of was okay. You could still float on through to your good ones and end with a really good one. So, all right. So he was so that was a pretty good one. "I was so ugly, my father carries around a picture of the kid who came with the wallet. When I was born, the doctor came into the waiting room and said to my father, 'I'm sorry, we did everything we could,' but he pulled through. I was so ugly, my mother had morning sickness after I was born. I remember the time I was kidnapped and they sent a picture of my finger to my father. He said he wanted more proof. Once when I was lost, I saw a policeman. I asked him to help me find my parents. I said to him, do you think we'll ever find them? He said, I don't know, kid. There are so many places they can hide. My wife made me join a bridge club. I jump off next Tuesday. I went to see my doctor. You know, Dr. Vinny Bamboom? I said, hey, Doc, every morning when I get up and I look in the mirror, I feel like throwing up. What's wrong with me? He says, I don't know what's wrong with you, but your eyesight's perfect. All right, that's enough of those goofy things. Okay, let's see what else we have on the list here for today. The reason I say that is sometimes in the way that I have my screen set up, I have a list, and it kind of covers up some of the words. So I have this button that makes it hide the list, and then I don't know what the next song I'm doing. So here's one. Oh, I know. This one is by Waylon Jennings, and Willie Nelson also sang on this song. They had a nice hit with it. It's called Good-Hearted Woman, and I think I have the right beat over here. Let me try this one. Yeah, that'll work. And, it's Waylon was just kind of, he was married to Jessie Coulter, and Waylon had problems in his life. I don't know if it was drinking, but I know he did a lot of drugs. And sometimes he could be kind of dangerous. He would be confrontational with people and kind of pick arguments with them. And you just didn't want to, you didn't want to cross him. And there was one story that they told about in the studio. There's a thing that a lot of country songs would do this kind of a thing. They have a bass line that'll go like this. To lead back into the chord that you're going to play. And then you would come down. Bum, bum, bum. So he hated those things for some reason. I don't know what it was. So he was, one time he was in a studio and the bass player did a line like that, up or down. And he said, that's it. I told you guys we're not doing that anymore. And he pulled out a gun and said, the next guy who plays a lick like that, I'm going to shoot him. I mean, he was kind of a volatile guy. I don't think the bass player did that. Anyway, but in this song, he's acknowledging to Jessie Coulter that he probably wasn't the best, the best guy in the world. He was kind of a good-timing man. So here it is. It's called Good-Hearted Woman. A long time forgotten, other dreams that just fell by the way. And the good life he promised ain't what she's living today. But she never complains of the bad times or the bad things that he's done wrong. She She just talks about the good times they've had and all the good times to come. She's a good-hearted woman in love with a good-timing man. And she loves him in spite of his ways that she don't understand. Through the teardrops and laughter, they'll pass through this world hand in hand. She's a good-hearted woman in love with a good-timing man. Now Willie sings this one. Well, he likes a bright laugh and the night laughs and the good times and friends. And when the party's all over, she'll welcome him back home again. Lord knows she don't understand him, but she does the best that she can. She's a good-hearted woman in love with a good-timing man. She's a good-hearted woman in love with a good-timing man. And she loves me in spite of my wicked ways that she don't understand. Through the teardrops and laughter, they'll pass through this world hand in hand. She's a good-hearted woman in love with a good-timing man. She's a good-hearted woman in love with a good-timing man. And she loves me in spite of my wicked ways that she don't understand. Through the teardrops and laughter, we'll pass through this world hand in hand. She's my good-hearted woman, loving this good-timing man. Yeah, she's that good-hearted woman, loving this good-timing man. Waylon Jennings wrote that. He had a really nice voice. Whenever you heard him sing, you'd recognize it. I didn't get his voice quite right. I just kind of deepened a little bit, but he had it was really recognizable, and that's important in music. So I think it's pretty cool. All right, so how about this one? It turned out I hadn't played this one for you folks in a while. And there we go. And I like this one a lot. Elvis Presley song, another Elvis one. This was based on a French love song written in 1784. Isn't that amazing? They said, hey, that melody's pretty good. Let's see what we can do with that. And then it took three guys, a guy named Luigi Creatore and George David Weiss and Hugo Peretti, all three of those guys, to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, pretty much 6 lines. Two guys got a line apiece. And boy, I'll tell you, I also mentioned that too because people did not get credit for writing the songs for Elvis. Their names were not put on the albums, and you had to kind of know somebody to be able to find out who wrote these things. So here it is. It's I Can't Help Falling in Love with You. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay? Would it be a sin if I can't help falling in love with you? Like a river flows surely to the sea, Darling, so it goes. Some things were meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you. Like a river flows, ooh, surely to the sea. Ooh, darling, so it goes. Some things were meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you, for I can't help falling in love with you. Well, the ending wasn't so sweet. My fingers didn't get... It's really tricky up there. What happened? Let me show you on the guitar here. Down here, these things are about, it's a little over an inch wide. But the higher you get up on there, these things get closer and closer together. I had to get in there. I'm squeezing all these fingers into one little spot right there. Let me try it again. But I got to hold the guitar up like this and really squeeze hard. Oh, my gosh. The other day, I played a show with some 4 other songwriters at a Ionia fair. And at the fair, we had one fellow who was doing wonderful finger picking stuff. Now, finger picking is like, instead of using a guitar pick, like this here that strums the strings, like that, you use your fingers like so, and so you play things like, you play, different strings that, like this. You're playing them just with your fingertips. Some people will use, they'll put little picks on their fingers, but they're, and they do that kind of, and this guy was really, really good at it. So I asked him, I said, man, you're really, you've got that thing down. He said, well, the reason is, he said, I have arthritis in my hands. He said, I can't hold a pick anymore. It just hurts my hand, but I can do this. And up at the top, he says, I can play the open chords. That's what they call chords like the C chord. Oh, you know what? I realize the picture is backwards on here, but oh well. A C chord and a G chord and a D and an A and an E. But he said the F chord, because you have to stretch this finger over here and you have to squeeze hard again. He said, I can't do that F chord. He can do this one. He'll play the F like so, rather than trying to make it this way. So, yeah, that kind of thing can affect your ability to perform. Instead, he moved in a direction that made him extraordinary on his finger picking style, just because if he had another problem. Another interesting story that I might not have told here before is that Les Paul, the guy who invented the Les Paul guitar, he's the guy who invented multi-track recording. Whoo, we owe a lot to that guy with what music became. He invented multi-track recording. Well, he was in a car accident while he was a musician on the road. It was Les Paul and Mary Ford. They had lots of hit records and toured all over the country. Well, they were in a car accident, and it broke his elbow. I mean, just shattered it. And the doctors came in. They told him, they said, we can't save your elbow. Said the only thing we can do is we're going to lock your arm in a downward position so you look normal when you're walking. He said, no, don't do that. He said, I'll never play the guitar. He said, I want you to, if you're going to lock it in one position, make it an L shape like this, because then he can hold it over the guitar and he can use his wrist. Now, some of us, we strum guitar from our elbow, but you wouldn't be able to do that if your wrist was locked. So he'd play it, and actually that's not the best way to do it. Let your wrist do the work. You make little tiny movements like this, and you can do a lot with it. Anyway, so he told him, so they locked it. His arm was locked in that position, and he was able to play guitar the rest of his life. But as he got older, and he got arthritis, he could no longer play really fast like he used to do. And so he developed another little way of playing that made him sound good. He wasn't playing fast, but it was real pretty music, or pretty melodic lines. And and I heard Terry Gross interview him, and she said, well, it sounds to me like you applied your inventing mind to your guitar playing. And he said, I never thought about it like that, but I think you're right. So pretty interesting. All right, now let's do one here. I'm going to do one that is I call it a cappella. Boom, boom, boom. Well, a cappella means without accompaniment, but I kind of accompany myself like this. Boom, da boom, 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 ba-dum, boom, ba-dum, boom, boom, ba-dum, boom, ba-dum, boom, boom, ba-dum, boom, ba-dum, boom, boom. I've got you under my skin, doom, doom, doom. I've got you deep in the heart of me, doom, boom, so deep in my heart. You're really a part of me, and I've got you under my skin. Doom, doom, doom. And I tried so not to give in. Doom, boom, doom. I said to myself, this affair I never will go so well. But why should I try to resist when, darling, I know darn well that I've got you under my skin. Doom, doom, doom. I'd sacrifice anything, come what might, for the sake of having you near, in spite of a warning voice that comes in the night that repeats in my ear. Don't you know, you fool, you never can win. Use your mentality. Doom, doom. Wake up to reality. Doom, doom, doom. But each time I do, just the thought of you makes me stop before I begin. And I've got you under my skin. Doom, doom, doom. Ba da 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 da. Ba ba dum 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 da 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 da. Yeah, ba 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 ba. Ba ba dum 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 dum. But why should I try to resist when, darling, I know darn well that I've got you under my skin. Well, I'd sacrifice anything, come what might, for the sake of having you near, in spite of a warning voice that comes in the night that repeats and repeats in my ear. Don't you know, you fool, you never can win. You fool, use your mentality. You fool, wake up to reality. You fool, with each time I do, just the thought of you makes me stop before I begin. As I've got you under my skin, and I like you under my skin. Do 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 do. Ba 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 ba. That part that goes, that's supposed to be like the drum at the very end. Diggity-doom. I like to have a drum play at the very end. I better check something. I just realized that I've left my phone on, and if anybody were to call, I put it on Do Not Disturb. The big trick is remember to turn it back on afterwards. Yeah. Okay, let's see what our next little song is here. Oh, it's not even a song at all. It's, yeah, okay. Well, you know what? I've got so many darn songs left. Why don't we just keep on going here? Let me do another one. This is one that I wrote, I think I was I think I had in mind a little bit of puppy love. Now, it doesn't sound like that. I wrote this with a fellow by the name of Dale Sukup, who lived in Nevada. And I worked worked with a dance group, and he was the father of two of the dancers. And so we wrote this song. I came in one morning and heard him play. He was playing some stuff on the piano, and I said, "Well, what's that? That sounds familiar." He says, "No, it's just something I made up." And I said, "You wrote that?" "Yeah, yeah." And so he really didn't have a lot in the way of words, but he had a couple of the words that he had was "Our love will grow," and it inspired me to write the rest of it for him. And then I pieced together some of the other chords and things that he was playing to make it into a complete song. So here it is, called "Our Love Will Grow." Our love will grow. That's what we said from the first touch. Those kisses that meant so much. Our love will grow. Our love will grow. We said we'd never be lonely. Love was meant for us only. Our love will grow. Dreams we were dreaming together. Love that would last forever. How could we know what would be? Our love did grow. Together we made it happen. If we had it to do again, our love would grow. Dreams we were dreaming together. Love that would last forever. How could we know what would be? Our love did grow. Together we made it happen. If we had it to do again, our love would grow. Yes, how about that, huh? Our love will grow. This next one here I played a little while back, and it's a song Glenn Campbell recorded. It was written by Alan Toussaint, who was an American musician, songwriter, and arranger, and record producer. Although he never had any hit songs of his own, he had a very big behind-the-scenes influence on music, and a lot of his songs were recorded on other people's albums, even though they really didn't become big hits. The only one that I know that was a hit was this one here. It's called Southern Nights. And let's see what we have here. Try it this way. Oh, okay. Bum 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 ba ba da ba dum bum 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 ba ba da ba dum bum 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 ba ba da dum bum 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 ba dum ba dum. Southern nights Have you ever felt a southern night? Free as a breeze, not to mention the trees, whistling tunes that you know and love so. Southern nights, just as good even when close your eyes. I apologize to anyone who can truly say he has found a better way. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Boom, 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 ba ba da ba dum, boom, 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 ba ba da ba dum, boom, 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 ba ba da ba dum. Southern skies, have you ever noticed southern skies? Its precious beauty lies just beyond the eye. It running through your soul like a story told of old about an old man. He and his dog that walked the old land. Every flower touched his cold hand as he slowly walked by. Weeping willows cry for joy. Digga digga doo, boom boom boom. Digga digga doo, boom boom boom. Ba ba da ba da, bum 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 ba da ba da. Ba ba da 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 da. Frightening, wish I could stop this world from fighting. La da 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 la da 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 about those mysteries like this and many others in the trees. They blow in the night in the southern sky. Do do digga digga doo boo 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 boo. Southern night, it feels so good, it's frightening. Wish I could stop this world from fighting. Da da dee 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 dee. I'm talking joy, joy, joy. The part I like is the fact that the drum is going 1, 2, 3, 4, and this part is on the and beat. So the downbeat goes and goes boom, dee, boom, so they kind of answer each other. That's kind of cool, isn't it? Now, we played that kind of thing in marching band a lot. When I played French horn and alto horn, that's the kind of thing you did. You play on the upbeat. Well, not all the time, but I mean, that was just one of the things that we get used to. And so I learned how to do that. That can be actually difficult for people who haven't done it before. All right, we are running out of time here. I have time for like maybe 2 more things here. Let's do this one. This Sweet Georgia Brown. Yeah. Okay. Let's get my drum over here. This was a theme song for the Harlem Globetrotters. Many of you have seen them? I really liked watching them, even though I'm not into sports. Those guys they were both, terrific players, but also humorous. And, oh my God, the tricks that they could do with a basketball. Woo. Okay. No gal that has got a shade on, Sweet Georgia Brown. 2 left feet, but oh so neat head, Sweet Georgia Brown. They all sigh and wanna die for Sweet Georgia Brown. I'm a-telling you why. I don't lie, not very much. Now it's been said she knocks 'em dead when she lands in town. Since she came, why it's a shame how she cools 'em down. The only teller she can't get is that fella she ain't met. Georgia claimed her, Georgia named her Sweet Georgia Brown. Brown. Two left feet, but oh so neat has sweet Georgia Brown. They all sigh and wanna die for sweet Georgia Brown. I'ma tell you why. You know I don't lie, not very much. It's been said she knocks them dead when she lands in town. Since she came, why it's a shame how she cools them down. The only fella she can't get is that fella she ain't met. Georgia claimed her, Georgia named her sweet Georgia Brown. Georgia claimed her, Georgia named her sweet Georgia Brown. Georgia claimed her, Georgia named her sweet Georgia Brown. Well, now how about, I just want to do this one. I'll just do part of it. Whoa, Susie Q. Whoa, Susie Q. Whoa, Susie Q, baby, I love you. Susie Q. I like the way you walk, like the way you talk, like the way you walk, like the way you talk. Susie Q. Say that you'll be true. Say that you'll be true. Say that you'll be true. Never leave me blue. My Susie Q. Say that you'll be mine. Say that you'll be mine. Say that you'll be mine, baby, all the time. Susie Q. Whoa, Susie Q. Whoa, Susie Q. Whoa, Susie Q, baby, I love you. My Susie Q. Oh, Susie Q. A Susie Q. A Susie Q. A Susie Q. And again, I'd like to tell the thing about that the chord structure. Oh, wait, I'm not even looking at the song. I don't have it there. James Burton played the guitar on that original record, and because of that, so many other people heard him. He got a job with Ricky Nelson, and then he ended up working for Elvis. Woohoo! Man, just for coming up with a cool guitar lick. Well, it wasn't just that guitar lick. I mean, that guy played all kinds of guitar stuff. I mean, obviously. So, okay, let's go ahead and finish up with our what I call the TV segment music here. It's just a program, a thing that I wrote for a TV show that never got made. Well, they made the pilot, but they couldn't sell it after all. And this is kind of music that they use before, like you're going to commercial and the announcer says, "Ladies and gentlemen, when we return from the commercial, we're going to be going to Aspen and watching the skiers there do some new tricks." Blah, 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 whatever that is. Hey, thanks for being here. Woo, yeah, we wanted to do just happy songs this time. No, I didn't really have a reason in mind. Kim thought I had one. And we won't go into that, but no, I just felt like I just wanted to do something upbeat. That's what this turned out to be. All right, so we will see you next time, and I had a few songs left over. I might just throw them on in the next show. A little bit, help it be upbeat. In the meantime, I'm feeling, well, I guess you call it peckish. You know, when you're hungry, it just feels like you kind of need a little something to sustain you. Goodbye.